So what are we gonna do about this skit? Like, any ideas?
I'm not too sure. We just did month of guests for November, and then we had Comic-Con last week. I'm kind of burnt out.
It is true. We're doing a lot of things. I have an idea. About that magic gauntlet you got from the con.
This one?
No, that's not the Witch Doctor one. The Witch Doctor one was black. That's the Infinity Gauntlet.
It's the same thing.
Says who?
Says Thanos. He was a witch at some point.
No. The Witch Doctor one was black. You put your hand inside and then like
I don't have time to burn sage and get the scents and stuff like that. I don't have time for that right now. Let's just get the ideas, okay? Build a nerd cinematic universe. No. Christmas musical.
Who has time for that?
No. Nerds horror movie? Well, we did that already. Okay, there we go. Make a Christmas story with Bryan bringing Christmas spirit to us. Not bad.
Too good.
Guys, look. The answer's pretty simple, alright? Why don't we make one of these ideas into a Christmas story?
Oh. Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California at Undercity Comics. Keep It Up with the Nerds presents issue 127. My name is Rene.
And Nick.
This is Bryan.
And welcome to the show, everyone.
Yeah! Clean run, baby! Woo! Did it!
Spiked up.
That's right!
It's not
No
a good,
mistakes.
it's not a good look on us.
For what? Yeah, we are. It's a great look.
Being good at stuff. Yeah.
Doing our job right for once. That's how it should be.
I strictly run on just strictly adequate. Or adequate.
Adequate?
Adequate. See, the Jack Daniels is already
You had a sip.
Yeah.
Adequate. You couldn't even.
Adequate.
We're already messing up. We were supposed to clean run, and
Yeah.
now it only lasted about a minute 30.
Jinxed us. That's
Here's
what
the-
it is.
30 seconds, excuse me.
Add a bit.
Add a bit.
Add a bit.
Add a bit about a bit.
How
Add
long
about
can we
a
go?
bit,
We
about
can go on forever. Guys, welcome back to Keeping Up with the Nerds. If you guys have not, known anything about us or, where we post things and stuff
Hello.
like that, hi.
If this
Welcome
is your
to the
first
show.
episode, I'm sorry.
Stick your hand out to the camera. Guys, Nick just revealed some important information to me earlier as I was editing.
I'm
right?
not wearing pants.
No, not that. Not that. So, as I'm editing... oh, my God!
It's small.
Why is it curled, dude?
Upkeep is pretty good.
Why is there a corkscrew in there?
Hey guys, it's like a penis but smaller.
Oh, man, kicking off the show with a bang. All right.
Woo!
Yeah. All right. So, Nick revealed some important information to me. So, people are listening to us on, audio platforms, right?
Yeah.
But there's a large audience of people that are watching us on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's most of the people from Moscow. I don't know what they're doing.
From Moscow. They
Love
just
keeping up with the nerds.
the one he wears the hats. He's
I
the
love
funniest.
the one with the glasses.
He's my favorite.
He's my favorite.
46% of people are watching us, but not subscribed.
Nope.
The hell?
I know.
What are you doing?
I never thought we would ever face that problem.
Yeah.
But I guess we do. So,
Now where we are.
Of like, I thought it was so interesting when I saw the analytics this week, and then I saw 700 views, and I was like, oh, that's great. And then it was like, oh, only half of them subscribed.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wow.
I'm like,
Thanks.
dang it.
So, if you're listening to this on an audio platform, you've got a YouTube account, right? Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Keeping Up with the Nerds. You've got a friend, right, who may not have started listening to us. Tell them, hey, you've heard about these three nerds? They've got a show called Keeping Up with the Nerds. Go subscribe on YouTube.
And Bryan said if you subscribe, he will give you some sloppy toffee.
No.
Just a little
why
bit.
does that sound like a candy? Sloppy toffee.
Doesn't it sound delicious?
It kind of does. Like it tastes.
You heard of Sweet Tarts?
It tastes very buttery.
I swear to God, if we were able to get big enough and I can make candy, I would
Sloppy
make
Make
sloppy
sexual
toffee.
innuendos.
I would make sloppy toffee. That'd be great.
No, you got to make candy, but it's sexual innuendos.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so sloppy toppy.
Sloppy
Yeah.
toffee.
What's another one?
Um,
I put you on the spot now, huh?
dip in the apple.
What? That sounds painful.
And if you're coming to us from YouTube, we are also on audio platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Podbean. Socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and our website. What is it, Rene?
What?
Website.
Keeping up with the nerds.
Keeping Up with the-
Thanks, Rene.
I kept
thanks,
thinking about the apple.
No, he's
It
the
was
new
sticking
Rene.
with me.
You're now Nick.
nerds.com.
Keeping up with the nerds.
The apple was still in my head.
.com.
I was thinking about where
Where you
it
can
goes.
buy your
No,
chocolate
there's no.
dipped apples. All right.
That's how we're starting the show, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
A little
Only
McConaughey.
Only
So-
place to get sloppy toffee.
No. Oh man, we're unwinding.
Is it sloppy toffee?
Why are you still on
Or
this?
toffee?
Why? We're moving on.
no,
The
because-
joke's done. You're no
because
more
he says-
apples,
he says
no more
toffee.
toffee.
No, it's
I don't
it's
care.
Toffee. It's
It's
toffee.
an F? Okay,
Yeah,
because at
toffee.
one point it sounded toppy, and I was like,
We're a
toppy.
safe for work podcast,
No,
all
we're
right?
not.
Yeah, we technically are.
We try to be.
Potato.
Potato pecan.
We're like on that borderline. We're PG, but we're like, you know.
We haven't crossed the line into.
I mean, at this
not
point-
safe for work.
No,
until
not yet.
That moment of Rene.
Oh, I dropped my pencil. Give me a second.
Oh.
Whoopsies. Okay, sorry.
All right, we done?
No, never.
No? Well, we're unwinding because
Yeah.
we just finished LA Comic Con coverage, which
Yeah.
was a lot of work. I can't say it enough. I'm proud of us because we did a lot. We actually went out there to work.
Yeah.
And we've gotten attention from people that we were showcasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And they actually they really liked what we put out.
Yeah.
Sandlot guys hit us back up. They were like, "Yeah, we really liked it." Yeah,
Yeah. They featured us on their story. Which
that was
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that notification and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The Sandlot people.
They know who I am.
They know who I am.
I have a question. When you were growing up and you watched Sandlot as a kid, did you ever think they'll know who I am one day?
No.
Like you'll get to, like we have an impression on them.
Yeah,
No,
like
but I will-
they've met us and
I
like,
will
they
tell
know
you
your
this.
name.
I will tell you this. My dream of producing almost died in 6th grade. Being a director, because I had a parent-teacher conference. This is always ingrained in my head. I had
What
a-
a rough childhood,
I
dude.
did.
Like
No,
every
very
single-
traumatic.
It's always super young too.
Yeah.
in 6th grade, I
I love in
had a
6th
parent-teacher-
grade you had already thought like I'm gonna be. In
I said
production.
yes. I said I wanted to be a director. It was me, my mom, and my teacher. And he's like, "Oh, well, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "Oh, I want to be a director. I want to direct movies." And my mom laughs like, "No, like tell her what you really want to be." And I'm like, "Oh, I guess a doctor. I guess." So like, I love my mom. She's
Yeah.
great, but she did kind of like force my hand to say a doctor.
That's when she should have like looked at your grades and been like, "Well, let's see how adequate."
Dude,
you
I was
are."
a straight A student.
It was like, dude.
I was a straight A student. I was a straight A student.
Really?
but-
I was a C
Really?
student.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
a
a straight
solid.
student.
I was a solid BC student.
I think I was.
And I only got A's in class if I really enjoyed the class.
I think it was like top 50 in my class out of like 300 something. So I was a smart kid, but yeah.
I was a CB student until report card day come around. Then I had to like, okay, I gotta focus. Like,
all right, now
Yeah.
it's time to pick it up and get the A's.
I
Yeah.
gotta
No,
turn in this homework that I've been
I don't
sitting
know what-
on.
No, but I think it's really funny because I don't know what's wrong with my brain. That always happens. Of I'm a like if I'm just trying to pass the class, I get a B. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to pass the class. But if I really enjoy the class, like I'm having a lot of fun, I'm learning a lot, like the teacher's really engaging, then I'm like, I'm gonna try my hardest in this class. Like I can't disappoint them.
No, but to answer your question, I wouldn't have thought about it.
That's some dark stuff. There's some Freud stuff in there probably.
Look, we met some actors, which is
Yes.
great. Sandlot crew, they were great.
Yeah.
You know,
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was cool to talk to them. If you guys want to know more about them, it's in issue 126. And then just to let you guys know, if you guys are not aware, again, this is why you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. 46% Unforgivable. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go check them out. Playforever.org.
Yes, we have 3 different interviews. Play Forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Luca Designs or
Yes.
Luca Jackets.
Mm-hmm.
And
Was it Luca Design or Luca
It's
Jackets?
Luca
Luca
Designs,
Design
but
is
on
his
Instagram,
brand.
it's
Luca Jackets.
I think Luca Jackets is just an Instagram handle.
Yeah.
I think Luca Designs is the actual
Company.
Company.
If you wanted to look it up and buy a jacket, it's Luca Designs.
Yes. I Googled both, and they both worked.
Okay, they both worked.
Yes, they both work. So if you Google both. But again, their interviews, as well as playforever.org, is on YouTube, as well as Critical Hit Collectables. Those have all come out last week as of recording.
Yes.
Great interviews. Great energy from all 3 groups.
They were fun.
And if you guys go check them out, maybe buy something, maybe check something out, I don't know, email them. DM them on Instagram. Let them know that we sent you. Because we definitely want to work with them sometime in the future as well. Like, talk to them, see how they're doing and everything. Because they were very excited to talk
Take
to
them
us.
On a date.
Take them out on a date,
Show
wow
them
them a little bit.
Show them a good time.
Even confectionery, what is it? The Copper Confectionery.
I saw that they also tagged us too.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
That was cool.
Which is great because I walked by, I smelled fudge, and I fell in love.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny because I saw the notification pop up and I did not know what it was. Because I didn't go to that. I didn't go to
you
that
left
thing.
early. It was Rene and I.
Yeah, and I was
we
like,
fell in love with fudge.
Yeah.
dude, I've always been in love with fudge.
Yeah.
What?
And they packed our
fudge.
fudge pretty well too.
They did,
Dude,
I
you
still have
guys-
some fudge.
Dude, you guys became regular fudge packers. It's
Yeah.
great.
You still got some fudge packed away?
I still have some fudge.
Oh, okay.
Nice. How do you
Yeah.
eat? How do you eat it?
How do I eat it? That's
Yeah.
between me and the fudge.
I feel like Bryan takes it out and just like, shh.
I feel like Bryan. I don't know why I feel like Bryan runs himself a bath. And then
Lights some
eats-
candles.
Lights some candles.
Actually, I'm not a
put some-
bath person.
Put
You're
some
not-
rose
I'm not a
petals.
bad person.
You don't
I am a jacuzzi person.
You don't like
I can see you putting
sitting in
it.
your own soup?
No.
I mean, that's what a jacuzzi is.
Yeah.
No, jacuzzi is like boiling, like you're, like in a hot pot.
A hot pot soup.
Like a nice little lobster.
Yeah.
You just
Put some little bok choy in
Yeah,
there.
eat your fudge.
No, but that fudge was pretty good.
It was
I think I got butterbeer and creme brulee.
And you bastards didn't share.
Well, we didn't know you were a fudge lover.
I love fudge.
You know what, Nick? You know how you can check them out?
Who doesn't
In
love
the
fudge?
description, the link's in the description down below.
You can easily just buy some fudge from them.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but there's so many options there.
I know.
There really is. There was I didn't know what to
Do you know how
choose
much
from.
fudge was on there when I want?
I mean, I saw
You know what?
butterbeer.
If we're already doing this kind of promo bit, what
dude.
we could do is we can get some
at
fudge.
a certain point.
Nick,
I think
listen.
I had to get like a dartboard. And start throwing
Nick,
darts.
listen, Nick.
I saw a Scarlet
How
Witch
about
one. That
you
was cool.
get your fudge from Copper Confectionaries, okay? And then you wear your Luca Designs jacket. And then the next decision you're going to make, you're going to roll a D20 from Critical Hit Collectables. And that's how you just go about your day. That's what you could do.
Can't go about this. You can't do this life.
Yeah, you can.
That's not how you live life, Bryan.
That's imagine living your life just rolling D20s.
All right, I gotta get a 8 or higher to take a
Dude,
crap.
a girl just asked me out.
What do
I
I
gotta
do?
roll.
Can you imagine? Like a girl comes up to you, and you're like, "Hold on, I can't talk to you." Sorry. Like,
Sorry.
He rolled a 1.
do you want my
Sorry,
number?
Critical failed.
I can't take that.
Okay.
I feel
Sorry.
like if I did that, my
You would
rolls would
never
just be
listen.
terrible. like my whole life would just be like,
You're
would
about
suck.
to shower.
Yeah.
You roll a crit 20, right?
Yeah.
You know what?
And it's got to be the best shower of
Yeah.
your life, dude.
No, like if a 10 or higher determines if it's hot or cold water. Like
I think that would be so funny if we could build an obstacle course and then roll a d6 prior. And then you do like 1 to 2. This is the kind of things that you have to do with this obstacle. And then like 3 to 4 is a different thing. And then 5 to 6, you do a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you roll them prior. And then when you go through the obstacle, you're just facing your own demons. Like you just realize you're just
Both
like
ideas.
you're just hitting like all of these bad choices. Or you got like a solid like 6 and you just walk through it. I just think that would be so great. That'd be really funny.
You roll. I would love to build like an IRL game, but like you just roll dice.
Yeah, you roll dice.
Yeah.
I feel like if we had the production and money to do that, we could do like a live action kind of thing and just kind of like shoot it and just be like, okay, you roll. It's kind of like almost like a Mad Libs kind of thing where it's like, okay, for this course you roll a d6. Okay, then that's okay. And then like when you get there, you have to do whatever 8 or 6 lands on.
So this is my idea, right? So it's a Mad Libs cross Japanese game style like
Ninja Warrior.
Course. Like Ninja Warrior is intense. I'm talking about like game shows from Japan, right? The quirky obstacles. Hang on.
Slap me.
Was it MXC or was it?
Or like
MXC,
hole in the wall when you actually have to pose and stuff like that, and you have to roll a d6.
Like Wipeout?
Yeah, exactly. You have to roll a d like some sort of dice, right? And depending on the roll number, you either get like a handicap or like an advantage.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah,
That'd be funny.
Yeah, there you go. See,
I feel like D&D nerds would just love that.
I would love that.
There you go. Right.
I would love that.
Sign me up. Nick's the host. He can't participate.
Aw,
shucks.
But who's gonna show them what happens?
Me. I'll be the clown that just does the.
You know what? That's a better idea.
I'm the what is it called?
I'm the announcer.
No, yeah, you're the announcer. He's the host.
Manager.
I actually do the videos and show you how to properly do it, but when I fail miserably.
You shoot him with tennis balls and stuff.
Oh god.
Brian.
You roll a d6.
You know,
and
I
then,
don't. Let's be honest. I don't know why they
love
have
the
a production company hasn't picked us up, dude. I feel like we're funny
coming
people.
out with these bangers.
Yeah, right.
I just think it'd be
Free
so
bangers
funny.
right here. Like.
I just want Brian so bad to be like getting shot with tennis balls, just going, I feel like I chose the wrong job.
That's fine. For the entertainment value, I'll take it. Are you good?
We better get a subscriber for that.
Speaking of subscribers, so we've reached what? 132
as of
Good.
recording.
That's pretty good.
We got a +6, which is great.
Yeah.
But again, 46% not subscribing on YouTube. That's a shame. Sucks. You should be doing it. And tell your friends, and tell your friends to tell their friends. Tell your moms, your dads, grandmothers, aunts,
I feel
uncles.
like parents wouldn't like us.
You don't know that.
I mean, our own parents don't really like us.
Yeah, my mom doesn't listen to us.
Yeah, I mean, my dad is like, he subscribed. But.
I think it's so funny that your dad was like, yes,
Yeah, that's how he was, So I mean, like I'm like, he goes like, you guys are funny. I'm like, is that it? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like,
Thanks. Yes.
All right.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Andrew listens to us, one of your friends.
He does.
Yeah, I'm. See, it was cool to go to your party as well too. Just as kind of like, just everyone's like, oh yeah, I watched the podcast. I'm like, really? I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple episodes and then just like, oh yeah, that bit was funny. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, the one bit where you made Brian look real dumb, which shouldn't be that hard, right?
Just like most myths.
Shut up, Nick.
I didn't say
Not you, him.
Oh, okay.
I'm Rene.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Full circle, baby.
All right.
Full circle.
I think we've exhausted the first 10 minutes of the show. Just kind of
Oh no, we can milk it more.
Yeah, we can milk this more. But we've got important news and pieces of information that have come out this week.
Yeah, news.
New. Our job.
Current events.
White people tune in to watch Keeping Up with the Nerds.
Wait, what did you say?
Did you say white people?
No,
it sounded like
white people. White people.
What's this white people?
That's why you heard that?
That's why I said what? What did you just say?
I said when people.
When people.
When
Okay,
people.
you need to emphasize your words.
emphasize your
Oh, I said no.
W's.
Why people? That's why.
It
Why
still
people.
sounds like yeah.
I was like,
hear
that's
it
why.
now?
Yeah, I hear
That's
it.
why both of us went like, what?
What? I mean, we don't even reach that demographic. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't even calculate that demographic. It calculates male, female, and their
Age.
location and age.
no, I just assume we reach like a certain Latino community.
How
We're
funny?
not in Mexico anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Or South America.
I just want to. I just want to start hitting like the that. I think we can get bear TikTok. Just.
What?
We would reach bear TikTok.
What do you mean bear TikTok?
What do you think bear?
What do you think bear
I
TikTok
know what
sounds like?
I know what it is.
Get on the
I
same
just-
conversation we're all
I
having.
just want to
okay?
know why.
Brown California bears. That's what. What were you thinking?
All right.
They're almost extinct, Brian.
Yeah.
It's an important subject.
It's a real problem.
Bring awareness.
Some of them are into cocaine, okay?
That movie looks sick, by the way.
It does.
Dude,
Cocaine
that
Bear.
movie looks
We're
so
going to have
dumb.
to review that movie,
It looks so dumb.
Really quick, I think it's funny how we're seeing a rapid growth of these like ridiculous movies now. Like we have like these interesting concepts.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just going
that's
to
the
the
thing.
extreme now. I mean, look at Kangaroo Jack.
We got that's true, but like after this whole like Marvel craze and like built universe, cinematic universe and stuff, now we're getting like these one-offs, which is really good. Like we have like Violent Night. You know, we got
No, I need sequels.
yeah,
I need sequels.
and then Cocaine Bear. You know.
Yeah.
And you know there's like another one that we saw that was like, oh yeah, that looks interesting, or I don't know, there's like some other concept.
No, Megan looks dumb.
Oh, Megan, that's the
Megan
yeah.
looked weird.
Yeah, it's
But
just
I'm willing
like
to see
21st century
Megan.
Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's essentially what
Android
it is.
Chucky.
Also,
basically.
when she
Basically.
dances, it's weird.
She's a-
All right, so we're going to move on to the news now
Yeah.
because we've got a pretty good show for you guys lined up today.
Yes.
We're mainly going to be talking about James Gunn because he is just blowing up on Twitter, releasing all sorts of information, and keeps posting photos about Kingdom Come.
yeah,
It's so great.
he likes the Alex Ross artwork. you
Yeah.
know?
So it's real cool to see that. So there's a lot to talk about there. But first, before we get onto our main topic of today's show, we're going to be talking comic strips. So if you are new to the show, comic strips is just a small portion of the show where we kind of take bits and pieces of news that have come out throughout the week and discuss them in bite-sized portions, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, because they don't deserve, a long episode to kind of talk about. Funny enough, though, comic strips is going to be packed with basically one subject today, because on Thursday, the VGAs, or the Video Game Awards, were streamed.
Yeah.
And I think his name is Jeff Kingsley. I can't remember
Announcer?
Huh?
Who?
The creator of the Video Game Awards.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Kingsley or something like that.
Oh.
He's been actively just pushing the VGAs like crazy over the last couple of years, just making it a higher production, bringing in publishers to just announce games, just making this just giant event that happens every year.
Did you hear what Christopher Judge said?
No.
The voice of Kratos. When Al Pacino called him up, which also Al Pacino was an announcer,
Yeah.
which is so strange.
Can you imagine Al Pacino like, welcome to the Video Game Awards?
He did. He announced best performance.
Oh, really?
And then it was so funny because Christopher Judge walked over and then Al Pacino handed him the award, and then I guess he didn't think it was that heavy, so then he grabbed it, but he didn't get a good grab on it, and it just fell, and he
Did it
caught
actually
it.
drop?
That always
No, and
happens,
he
too.
caught it, and he you could see him get it, and he kind of goes oh dang, and he picks it up and he's like, no wonder I could only get a +1.
No, yeah, it's insane. There were a lot of announcements as well. Basically, God of War, just to kind of summarize it, right? If you're not really into video games, this is what happened. God of War just took a bunch, just swept.
Of course it was.
Oh yeah,
That's the thing.
there's no competition, but Elden Ring won Game of the Year.
I thought it was interesting.
Really?
God of War sweeps, and I feel like they gave Game of the Year to Elden Ring because they were like, listen,
We gotta distribute the awards.
we got to distribute the awards. And Elden Ring, no, because Elden Ring
Well, the
is
same
a
thing
near
happens
perfect
to
game.
the Oscars as well too. There's
Yeah.
that one movie that just keeps getting awards, but it never wins Best Picture.
Because in any other thing, you're kind of going listen, if it won best cinematic, best this, best performances, best music,
yeah.
best everything, best script, you're kind of going well, obviously it must have been the best game. And then they're going nah, it was another game. But Elden Ring is a solid game, though. It's a solid game. I think it was definitely between those two, between God of War and Elden Ring.
It's questionable. I haven't played either one of those games, but from my
You shut
understanding,
your mouth then.
no, I'll
we have no room to speak.
You have no room to speak.
As someone that's played both, no, you've played both.
Yes.
Okay, so is Elden Ring a basically enhanced version of Dark Souls?
What do you mean?
In terms of the gameplay mechanics and everything, besides it being open world.
I feel like it's a more user-friendly version of Dark Souls.
Yeah, I've heard that too. That it's supposedly a lot more user friendly.
It's a lot more it's very much easier to introduce the game to players instead of the way that Dark Souls just kind of goes, all right, cool, here's the game, have fun.
Oh, you want the story? Read the items. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. That's also inside of Elden Ring. There's a lot of that. If you want further like descriptions, or if you want more background, if you want other things, you're gonna have to read items, or you're gonna have to do other stuff, or you're gonna have to do everything else.
Yeah.
How long has Elden Ring been around?
It came out
last year, no?
Yeah, but it came out like closer to March.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was out like probably like February, March
of this year.
Yeah, this year.
Okay.
It's a solid game.
Yeah.
Super good.
But you're right, it does kind of seem weird that God of War sweeps and they just, handed the Game of the Year award to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And kind of sad though, because it's supposed to be the headlining title, but some kid stole the show at the end of the event.
That was really ridiculous because God of War wins, Christopher Judge wins, everything else. Elden Ring ends up getting Game of the Year. So what happened was there was this kid over at the Video Game Awards. He then, when they called the Elden Ring up, they were walking up. He snuck in with the group and was then able to get on stage.
Oh, this was just a random.
It was just a random kid just got up there, and then he was like standing in the back, and he was waiting for everybody to like finish and everything like that. And then as soon as they're done, he just like jumps in front of like of the creators of Elden Ring, and he says some dumb things not even worth repeating. And then he's just like, all right,
some
cool.
vulgar stuff he was saying?
No, it was
kind
of I don't know if it's a joke or not. Yeah. No one knows who this kid is. No one knows why he said what he said.
I know that.
He's in jail. But look, if we're going to move besides
the police
that point,
definitely know who he is.
Oh, yeah. But here's the thing. Besides that point, right? Because it is kind of dumb that that's the headlining title for mostly everything. It should be God of War sweeps, Elden Ring wins Game of the Year. That's what it should be. I'm going to say this, okay? Like any producer, any director, any writer who makes a big budget movie or some sort of production that we all get to see, right? Video game producers are some of the hardest working people in the industry. They spend years and, tired like, days and weeks and months working on these video games. Endless hours, just going about putting in their blood, sweat, and tears in these things. And it's interesting and it's really great that the Video Game Awards exist because that acknowledges that sort of work.
Judge actually even said, the voice of Kratos, he even said, when I read the script, I didn't know it was a video game. And if I knew it was a video game, I probably wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have even read the script. But I read the script and I loved it, and I thought it was so impactful, and they wanted me for this character. And and then I went for a reading, and they did the reading just like it was a theatrical movie. And because there was going to be so much physicality, just because a lot of the actual game is done in mocap.
Yeah.
So when they went over everything, it was really interesting of him once he figured out, this is an actual like game. He jumped on board, and he's been playing Kratos for the past 4 years, and
I keep forgetting he's from Stargate SG-1.
Yeah,
dude, he's a huge dude.
Yeah,
big boy. I was like, damn.
Did you
damn?
Did you see his? It's so funny because him, the first year of the VGAs, that they were there. It was him and the actor that plays his son.
Oh, Atreus.
Yeah, that plays Atreus, and
that kid's also from a lot of movies as well too. I mostly know him from mid '90s by Jonah Hill. Yeah, he was the main kid from mid '90s.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, it's funny though because they're both up there, and then the kid who plays Atreus, he's reading it. He has the cards in his hands, and he goes, and then you see Christopher Judge, and he's like, and the award for best game goes to boy. And then you hear everybody go, yeah!
Is God of War coming out on PC? The first one?
The first one's already out.
Yeah.
Okay, dope.
It's already out on PC.
My Christmas wish is a new graphics card so I can play it.
Actually, my Micro Center just got a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And they're 50% off. My brother just went down right now, and he went down and he built an entire PC for
50% off.
Yeah, so I think like a $500 graphics card, he got it for $250 right now.
Right, it's like
over at Micro Center.
Oh, yeah, they're never going to sponsor us.
Austin, tell them we're nice.
Austin Evans, please. Oh man! All right, so
Thank
to go
Mr.
on
Evans.
with, dude, imagine working with Austin Evans. I love that dude. I'd love to. Dream. So regarding the VGAs, there were a couple announcements also being made. A lot of trailers dropped. So I'm going to name them off then we'll discuss pretty much what we're most excited for, right? Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's a sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Great game. Rene and I still have to finish it. Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6. They both got trailers as well.
They look good.
Super excited for Street Fighter 6. Death Stranding 2. Kind of weird that it was like a plateau that people were just kind of like, yay, cool, okay.
It
cool.
was so funny to hear it at the Video Game Awards because everybody was like, because they didn't say it was Death Stranding 2 when the trailer came out. It just said Kojima Productions.
Yeah.
And everybody went, oh, what's it gonna be? And then they saw Death Stranding 2, and everybody went, oh.
Okay, that makes sense. Hellboy gets a new video game. Cell-shaded design, looks like the comic books. Pretty sick about that. So, awesome. Hades 2. Super excited. I love Hades. Have not beaten it yet. Gotten really close to it. And then just rage quit.
How many games have you played and haven't finished?
A lot. A lot. No, you know what, man? It's like I get really into it, and then I just get busy, and I forget about it.
You know what
You still haven't finished Spider-Man, huh?
No, I have to wait until... Well, it's a PlayStation 4 game on there now, so I basically have to wait for a PlayStation 5 or a graphics card. So, we'll see. What were you going to say?
No.
No? That's it? Okay, so thanks for interrupting that bit.
You're just you're just terrible. That's it.
You're just
Idris Elba joins Cyberpunk 2077. So
Yeah.
he's going to be in the new DLC. And Diablo 4 gets a release date of June 6, 2023.
A lot of these games were all 2023, so 2023 is gonna be stocked packed with games.
Yes. Besides the video games, Super Mario Brothers had an official clip release, which showcased a lot of orchestral music from the games combined into one scene. Really great to kind of hear those bits come out because it was the Toad House from Super Mario Brothers 3, the overworld music from Super Mario Brothers or from Super Mario World. It's just great to hear all that. So super excited.
And then they use the Princess Peach's castle. They use the Mario 64 castle design, which is really sick.
Yeah, and the what is it called? The stained glass window.
Yeah, the peach stained glass window and everything else. I'm really hoping you can jump through paintings. I'm really hoping he jumps through a painting.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be so sick.
I kind of want the orchestral piece for the Bomb World from Super Mario 64. I want that extended because that sounds so great. It's great. I love it.
I understand. I get why they're doing this because I feel like they're really trying to sell people on Chris Pratt's Mario.
I'm sorry, but if you kind of just keep hating on Chris Pratt and don't have a valid reason as to why, it's kind of weird.
It's, you know what, honestly, the more I'm listening to it, the more I'm like getting used to it. I feel like that's what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it more normal, where it's like you keep hearing it, and then you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I can live with it.
I can live with it.
Just give him a shot. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then when he messes up,
Then we raise our pitchforks and light up
the
torches.
Yeah. All,
led by Nicholas Valero.
Woo! Frankenstein!
Out of all these announcements, which ones are you guys excited for the most?
I mean, the pitchforks thing was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what you want, right?
That was pretty hype. Yeah.
That was pretty hype. Yeah.
I guess Jedi Survivor for me because there's not a lot.
Finish the game first.
I have to finish the game first, but I would say Resident Evil 4, but that wasn't even announced.
That wasn't.
You have nowhere to talk.
You haven't even finished it yet.
You can't burn him on a game that you haven't finished. That's not how that works.
I'm surprised because I think as someone that's gone pretty far into Fallen Order, and you love it, you're just kind of stuck on one part, right?
I'm past it. I'm just haven't gotten back to it yet. I've been on an Uncharted kick because it was on sale, the collection. So I've been playing that. Yeah.
No one blames you for that besides Nick, but Nick's a jerk, so whatever.
Oh, he already knew.
Yeah, he already knew. But Survivor seems interesting. Yeah. The trailer really hyped up a lot of stuff, especially if you're a fan of Cal Estes or what's his name, Cal Kestis.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that they aged him. Because they gave him he looks more built, and then he has a beard now.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that in this game, it's supposed to be that he's been very integral in just messing with the Empire. That now he is a wanted man by the Empire because he did kill 2 Inquisitors. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty big deal.
I wonder how far they're gonna go with the story though.
Well, it's weird because it's hard for me to get hyped for a story because to me, it feels like it doesn't matter because, you know, in the Star Wars lore, if you think about the long-term game, it's like, okay, well, where does Cal play into this? You know, he's supposed to bring hope and stuff like that, when really it sucks that in the Star Wars lore or legacy, it's like it all lies with the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
And which I don't like.
Look, he could be a spark, but it is interesting because like he's a Jedi, right?
Yeah.
But he's kind of giving the Jedi a different name, especially with what you see in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like Jedi aren't supposed to be dicks, but here he is pulling a stormtrooper out, and then he's making him shoot his like entire troop, and then just slashing him from the back. Yeah. It's like not noble. You know
why?
It's not noble, dude.
Why?
I don't know. It just seems kind of cheap.
I think. Well, no.
You know what I mean, right?
Well, I mean, I see what you're coming from, but at the same time, I'm seeing like when I play the game as Cal, I see that he's trying to be different than how at least the High Republic were with Jedis when they were they were like monks, and he's trying to restore hope to people that have been taken over by the Empire and stuff like that. And that's why again, like it's hard for me to get into the story because to me it feels like it doesn't matter because the Star Wars legacy always lies within the Skywalker storyline.
See, my thing is that I wouldn't mind because what it looks like he's been collecting Jedi artifacts because that's what the master was doing when she was inside the trailer, and you see all like that library behind her. Those are all Jedi artifacts and Jedi tomes that she has like up in the library. So I can totally see him being a wandering Ronin, and getting into mischief, and then him realizing we need to do more, and then him hearing like the legend of a fallen Jedi, of a Jedi master, where it's like, okay, I hear that they're holding a Jedi Master, that's still alive. Let's go free him. What you don't realize is that instead of it being, instead of them, we're hiding this Jedi Master because he's dangerous to the Empire, we're actually protecting everyone because this person's a psychopath.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting in that mindset of what Cal does. He's preserving the legacy of the Jedi Order.
Yes.
But then realizing that he can't just keep going by just preserving it. He has to make a difference. He has to go out there and actually make a change and take on the Empire, which is a cool little change up in mindset that you get from the first game into this game here.
Because what it also looks like is it looks like sometime in the 5 years, everybody disbanded from the crew.
Yeah.
All the Night Sister, the Jedi Master, the pilot, and Cal.
Yeah.
The only two that stuck together were BD and Cal. It looks like everybody else kind of spread out,
which is fine. I mean, it's kind of like a fresh start for me. Like it's interesting to see where they're going to take the story.
Yeah.
Because you are right, it does fall in the Skywalker saga. Like they are the main kind of like storytellers here. Yeah. But it is interesting to have a Legends, even though it's not Legends. It's like because it's technically, the way I see it, it's like a Legends storyline where it's not really mentioned, but it is canonical. Yeah. So I would like to have that. That's like, a fires, like a campfire story.
If it shows that he does have an impact that ripples into the main like story arcs of the Star Wars saga, that'd be cool. I would like that. Or if he meets like a legacy character in some way, that'd be cool.
He's already met Saw.
Yeah.
He's already met Saw Gerrera. I can totally see him meeting somebody else.
Well, I will tell you this. We won't find out until the first quarter of next year. So that's going to be an interesting piece. Besides Survivor, anything you're interested in, Nick, on that lineup?
There's another game that's out there. I can't remember its name, but it's like just basically robots killing each other. I'm really
I know what you're talking about.
Robotech or something like that.
It's Armor something. I know what you're talking about. Armor Core or something?
Yeah, it's like Armor Core, Armor War or something like that.
Something,
that game looks bananas.
Gotcha.
All right. They also showed, which they showed like a preview, which is Warhammer. Yeah. That looked kind of cool because that's how I picture a Warhammer game to be. Yeah. Just like crazy. Kind of like Gears of War. Gears of War.
You have to play Vermintide. Vermintide was a lot of fun. Vermintide is another Warhammer game, but it's like in the Middle Ages, and it's basically you just surviving.
Oh yeah.
Through like a level.
Okay.
For me,
it's pretty fun.
Hades 2. I fell in love with the first Hades. You played it.
I played Hades.
You haven't played it.
No.
I don't think it's the type of game for you, but I'm a huge like mythology fan. I love Greek mythology. I love what they did with Hades. The storytelling super great. The characters are really great.
Yeah.
Dying in the game isn't punishable. It's not like super punishing, but it makes you want to learn more about it.
Yeah.
I would say just play it. Just like maybe do a couple runs, play like 2-3 hours into it and see if you like it. It's really interesting. So I'm glad to see that there's a second one.
Yeah.
Because the first one was great. We're going to move through these other pieces of news quickly to kind of go into our main topic. Markiplier in the news for once. We're actually talking about him here on the show, interestingly. But the reason why is because out of nowhere,
sexy.
he launches an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, right? When you think of Markiplier and OnlyFans, it's two different entities that don't really mix together.
Yeah, it's not the first thing you would think of.
Yeah.
He's a very wholesome person.
He is. But
Yeah.
according to what has been released, there is information basically saying that he is doing this OnlyFans for charity.
Yes.
So out of the two charities, it's the Cincinnati Children's Hospital and the World Food Program.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about this is he's not doing full nudes. He's doing, as you say, tasteful nudes.
Tasteful nudes.
Tasteful
like his
nudes.
calendar.
Yeah.
Boring.
But even though you do say boring.
Show me that wiener.
Some people paid for eggplant.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's what they want.
I want it on a mug.
They want that.
That's actually one of my Christmas gifts this year to my brother.
Oh.
I
Wait,
actually-
what?
Not me. That's weird.
It started off a little bit better.
Yeah, no, it's a naked man on a coffee mug.
That's interesting.
Oh,
But-
okay, cool.
But here's the cool thing.
Does he listen to the show? Because you just gave it away.
He doesn't listen.
He's supportive, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
He'll listen for.
He listens to this one episode. It's like, oh, Nick,
He
you got
listens-
me a naked man on a mug.
He does
dude."
the same thing my girlfriend does. He watches this skit. then he
That's
logs
it,
off.
yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah, he's not into this part. It's 40
yeah,
minutes.
it's 40
in.
minutes.
Get to the
Way
point.
too far in. Anyway, it's a black mug. It's a black mug. Can't really see anything. Everything like that looks like a normal black mug.
Okay.
Once you put hot liquids
Oh, it's
I
a
make
color
it-
Is it
changing
a
one.
full frontal naked man? Or is it like
Yes.
really?
into it, it's a full frontal naked man sitting on a chair, and his wiener is just
there.
Good to
there.
know.
Yeah.
and
So-
Have a
it's
little
huge.
morning wood with your coffee.
I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking huge.
Oh my God, Nick, you're
no,
on a bad roll today, dude.
like
This is the head.
it looks like a baby holding an apple, man. It's just I was shocked when I saw it. Like I was like,
I'm gonna
oh my
mute you
God.
for like 5 minutes, dude.
I'm like, oh my
gonna
God.
time you out, dude.
Like, it's just-
Well, Markiplier is using OnlyFans for good. So that's the news
does
right
it look
there.
like a baby holding an apple?
I don't know, dude.
I'm disappointed.
He's not. Yeah.
Movie news: Rush Hour 4 confirmed by Jackie Chan, and Dark Tower getting an adaptation on Amazon or by Amazon Studios by the Haunting of Hill House creator
Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan.
I'm a huge fan of his.
Listen, I would have been excited if it would have been by the producers of The Boys. Then I think I would have been excited.
For Dark Tower? Really?
Yeah.
No, he's just saying stuff. He's not meaning it.
Well, because Mike Flanagan directed Doctor Sleep.
Yeah.
So he's already touched onto a Stephen King.
He did Doctor Sleep, and Doctor Sleep was okay.
Doctor Sleep was good. That's the thing.
Doctor Sleep was okay.
I feel like he understands what Stephen King's vision is, because Dark Tower is basically a huge stretch and it connects every single Stephen King.
So do you want Idris Elba back?
I would love to see Idris Elba back. That'd be cool. And Matthew McConaughey. That'd be cool. But I'm not going to see. We're not going to see that because Mike Flanagan likes to do his own thing. That's the thing. There's a reason why we didn't get to see like a Jack Nicholson in Doctor Sleep. It was like a stand-in kind of actor when he did Doctor Sleep. But yeah. So that's the thing is Dark Tower connects like It and to The Shining and stuff like that. It connects everything. It comes full circle in a way.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, because you find out Pennywise is from that world and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it all revolves around a turtle.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. That's why they keep on talking about turtles.
Yeah, the
inside
turtle's
the-
like the
the
all
book.
seeing, protector of the universe and stuff.
Yeah,
like
and that's why turtles keep popping up inside of like Christine and it, and anything that was connected to it, and then that's how he connects it all. And basically, it escaped one of the like hell dimensions from the Dark Tower, and then he made it into our reality.
It's so funny how Stephen King created this.
So
world.
his mind is actually not crazy.
Yes.
It's still
No,
crazy.
it's still crazy.
He's just creative.
Yes. Let's say that. No, he's a better M. Night Shyamalan. Okay.
I mean, let's not all just start blowing him. All right, he did also have a giant child orgy. So let's not all just go like, hey, he's doing.
Well,
he's the
he
best.
likes to do. It's so weird how he likes to create like trauma within kids in his stories and stuff like that.
I'm just saying, that's pretty messed up. And then like, there's all this like there's undertones of. What was it? The kid in Shining being molested by his dad.
Yeah.
Like Stephen King always has like this dark take on children, and we just have to just
shock factor.
We have to shock factor and traumatize them and everything else. Sometimes it's a much.
So that's a note to end comic strips on. Thanks for that.
Sorry.
Hey, but Dark Tower. Dark Tower. Though.
But back to Dark Tower.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because I want to see what Mike Flanagan has a vision for. Yeah. I mean, if you guys want a good idea what Mike Flanagan does, one of my favorite Netflix shows that he does is the Midnight Mass.
Oh,
super good. That's like my favorite show that he does.
Yeah,
like. You can skip Haunting the Hill House. It's scary, but it's.
I like Haunting on Hill House.
I feel like Midnight Mass is a much more better storytelling.
It's long, I've heard. Like
Midnight
long.
Mass.
Yeah,
it is. It's like 8 or 9 episodes.
It's 8 or 9 episodes, but movie length.
I always felt that Haunting on Hill House was kind of like a what is it? It's very much I put things in it so that way you're forced to rewatch it, so that way it would get higher numbers.
Yeah, no, because he does a lot of, because Mike Flanagan does the one thing I like is a lot of background stuff. You have to pay attention to the background. He's also a fan of like shiny eyes, because he does that in both Haunting the Hill House and Doctor Sleep and Midnight Mass when he does, because in Midnight Mass has to do with like vampires and stuff like that. And when people are vampires, he likes to do like like little glowing eyes.
Did he do what's his name? Oh my god, with James McAvoy.
Which
one? The one that was in oh my god, why can't I think?
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds, otherwise we're moving on because
for Unbreakable.
Glass?
Oh no, that was
not Glass, but it was a Split.
It was that was M. Night Shyamalan.
That was M. Night Shyamalan.
That was
That's
Shyamalan.
the thing.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up comic strips with that. I'm excited for Rush Hour 4. Just kind of ended up on that, even though I mentioned it. I don't think anyone else is. I'm excited for it. Love that.
I mean, I'm definitely excited to see where it's gonna go.
Yeah, so we'll see that. Even I just it's cool to see it.
Yeah,
it's cool to see him back. Plus, it's Jackie Chan. Come on,
Jackie Chan.
I think I'd be okay if Lee and I don't want Lee and Carter in it. I want Lee and Carter's kids in it.
Sure. Okay. Well, thanks for that take.
Why not?
Thanks for that take.
I mean,
so we're going to talk about. No, we're done. We're done. No.
You can't bring up
no
Rush Hour 4 and not have a conversation about it.
No, I'm excited for it. That's all I wanted to do.
Well, what do you want from it?
We have like 45 minutes left in the show.
What do you want from it, though?
That's it. I just said I'm excited for the announcement.
You don't have to yell at me.
You can shut up, Nick. God damn, dude. I swear. You're just
it's
love
been
to
like
rile
this
me
all
up.
night. Just to let you guys know. Like, oh, man, they're really awesome. No, it's been like this since Bryan's got here.
Didn't say hi to me when he came in. I came in, hi, nothing.
Yeah, you came in with a good attitude until, apparently Nick opened his damn mouth. And it just
I didn't even say anything.
Yeah, and then
that's your freaking
this is what
problem.
we've been had.
That's your freaking problem.
So who's on
I
the
was super
I don't
excited
know
to
whose
see
fault
both
is
of
it.
you
So I
guys,
wanna know
and
whose
then you
fault it
come
is.
over here,
Now
and
I
you're
really
just
wanna
all
know.
dopey mopey, going all dumb.
I wasn't all mopey.
No,
dopey.
Yes,
yeah,
you
that's
were.
the-
I
you
was
were.
I was eating a sandwich when you came
God,
in.
dude, Nick, you pissed me
And then
off,
I was
dude.
I was literally on TikTok when he
You
walked
pissed me
in.
off.
I was
Yeah,
watching
not
TikTok.
acknowledging me. You know what,
Not
Nick?
acknowledging me with his beautiful sweater.
Just because your sweater says "daddy"
Shut-
on it.
no.
I was supposed to automatically.
I keep forgetting. I don't know why we keep thinking it says daddy. It says
says,
dad.
"Hope you find your dad."
It says buddy. That's
Yeah.
what we keep referring
God,
to.
dude. Sickening mind. Moving on. That wraps up comic strips, ladies and gentlemen. Good job. Thanks, Nick, for just derailing this conversation. Let's talk about James Gunn on Twitter. All right, James Gunn on Twitter, just putting out information left and right. James Gunn on Twitter. Okay. Yes, he's just putting information out there.
He's doing what?
Putting goddamn information out there.
I don't know why that reminded me of Horrible Bosses. You ever seen Horrible Bosses 2?
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh yeah, what's it? I was gonna call it a shower daddy.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, shower buddy.
Shower buddy. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, why would you want to take a shower with your buddy? Why would you want to take a shower with your dad? Oh, we're done.
Okay, thanks. Shut up, dude. Okay. Piss me off, man. God, dude. Swear. Smooch. James Gunn on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just putting information out left and right? So there's a piece of information that we kind of didn't say much about Stop that we kind of briefly touched on last week, which was that he made announcements. No, give him the ketchup, dude. Give him the goddamn ketchup. Stop being a child.
You threw it at me.
Stop being a child.
Oh, that was pretty good.
So he puts out information right on Twitter last week, basically saying that his plan is he's going to have an interconnected universe for the DCEU.
Everything's going to be all the medium that we'll see for all the DC stuff, video games, animation, TV shows, movies.
Yeah.
Be all connected like a circle.
Yeah.
Like a circle.
It's interesting because no one really paid attention to that bit, right?
No.
So I don't know if this is going to be part of the connection, but it was mentioned in the VGAs, the Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. There was a trailer for it, or a small little sneak peek of a cutscene from the game.
Yeah.
Right? It's not connected. You don't think so?
I think they're too far into development to stop.
But with it being in development, that doesn't stop James Gunn from saying this is connected in a separate universe and we can bring it in.
You could, but also I think at a certain point we've already we've developed this game to where it's almost finished. Literally, it's in beta testing when I took over. If I were to stop it or to just cancel the game, it would be a lot. It would just be hundreds of millions.
It's the same thing as Black Adam. If they were to cancel Black Adam.
Black Adam supposedly is en route to lose $100 million or something like that.
Yeah, and they're not moving forward with the second movie, apparently. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's not part of James Gunn's plan, apparently. As an initial plan.
Look, it was a good film.
You know what?
It was a good movie.
It's a good film, and you know what? Honestly, if he wanted to bring those characters back and just reboot them and everything else and maybe use them somewhere else, I would be totally down.
Yeah. Which is fine. One piece of information we did not mention about the Suicide Squad, which we do need to bring up, is that Kevin Conroy will be voicing Batman in that game. And it was announced briefly, that it is his last piece before his passing.
As far as we know, that's medium that's come out.
Yeah. One of them.
Wasn't there a radio broadcast thing that he was working on?
He was working on an audio broadcast, but I don't know how far into it he got.
You want to bet that James Gunn's wanting to release that?
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think as soon as I'm pretty sure they finished. I'm sure that Conroy finished everything he needed to do, and he was done with it and everything like that because he wasn't working. According to Kevin Smith, he wasn't working on anything.
No.
At the time of his death, because he went to go talk to him because apparently he wanted to talk about He-Man.
Oh.
Because Conroy's in He-Man. And everything like that. So
is he working on a second season?
They were working on something, but I know that he had a script that he wanted Conroy to read, and then and then Conroy wasn't able to do it because he said, "Oh, I'm down to come down to you, and we'll read the script, and then we'll do a podcast and everything like that. But we'll do it after the holidays because I haven't been feeling 100%."
Yeah.
And then I think a week later he died.
That sucks.
So it's sad because at that trailer you basically hear or you see Batman.
Yeah.
And then the screen just blacks out and it says, "I am vengeance, I am the night, I'm Batman" in Conroy's voice.
I don't think that he actually says that in the game.
I think that was probably taken out from different lines mashed together to make him say that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's pretty interesting to see that he was involved in the Suicide Squad game. I feel like this is one out of the few projects we'll see later on moving forward. We'll see him. I think he's we'll see like maybe one more project that he was involved with.
He was the voice of Batman in the Arkham series.
Yes.
And that was so good.
Which I think, but the interesting thing I thought was, this must be an interesting story, because Conroy has said several times, I won't do Batman unless I really liked the script. If I didn't really like the script, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So this definitely concerns a couple things about that game. I don't think that the Justice League will be dying, because that's kind of like what is the main story theme.
Yeah,
we were
It's
talking
the
about
Suicide
it.
Squad.
We were talking about it earlier of like, well, who defeats Brainiac?
Yeah.
Like
in the long run.
Yeah, like King Shark, it doesn't defeat Brainiac. That's a Superman thing.
Yeah.
Like they're just not strong enough.
But see, here's the problem with it, is that these are cool, interesting stories, and James Gunn might not be pulling them in to craft his universe here, right? Now, it was interesting because Andy and I went to Downtown Disney yesterday, and we were talking about, because she asked me, she's like, oh, if you ever were given the opportunity to produce something for Disney, would you do it? And I said, no.
Yeah.
I would, but I'd have to really consider what that production would be.
Yeah.
Because when you're locked into Disney, it kind of feels like you're locked into life for it, right? And then she brought up James Gunn, and I said, well, James Gunn's he's kind of different in this sense, right? Because James Gunn did something that most other producers and directors can't really do, which is pull the bottom of the barrel characters and make them interesting and sell them. If it wasn't for James Gunn, you've said this years ago, before we started the show, Guardians of the Galaxy was a knockoff comic book. They were mentioned.
No one cared about it.
No one cared. They were characters that popped in on different storylines for like 2 panels and gone.
That was it. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, Guardians of the Galaxy comes out. Popped off. Everyone wanted Guardians comic books.
Everyone knows about Groot, Rocket Raccoon,
Drax, Agent
Gamora.
Venom was in Guardians for a bit.
Iron Man was in Guardians when they relaunched it.
Ghost Rider was in there as well. So now they're doing these things, and James Gunn did something that no one else could. Revitalize the interesting aspects of D-list characters.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing he did in Suicide Squad with a lot of like Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher, like just a lot of Peacemaker. These like D-list villains where you're like, wow, these guys suck.
Why do you care about those?
Why do you care about them? But I feel like that's the way that James Gunn works, and he knows how to he really knows how to polish a turd.
Oh yeah, no.
He really knows how to polish a turd.
We talked about it before you came, about just James Gunn being the head of DC Studios, where it's interesting that now he's the head of creating a universe now, creating the cinematic universe, essentially being part of one, and seeing how you said, being how the sausage was made. And kind of, he probably did see a lot of stuff when he was working for Marvel, seeing how everything works and how everyone communicates and how everyone builds a universe together. Probably being like, well, I don't really agree with that. I'd rather go a different route, whatever that way. And now he has that ability.
Well, that's the thing, though, is because I was telling him, he has to have an idea. Yeah. There has to be some kind of an idea, because there's no way in hell that Warner DC gave him the keys to the kingdom and then went like, sure, do whatever you want to do. He had to have pitched them some kind of
He must have knocked out that proposal like out of the park.
Especially if it has
times around the world.
Especially if it has to deal with animated it has to do with animated live action and video games, of like, we're doing Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we're gonna go bigger.
Yeah.
We're gonna do what they said they were gonna do in the very beginning, and we're gonna make that a reality.
You heard about the MCU? You've heard about the Star Wars universe? You heard about what Disney's doing? We're gonna do that, but 10 times bigger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because Star Wars kind of does that.
They already kind of do, yeah.
They already do that, but it's not as effective. And I'm sorry, to the Star Wars fans, it's not as effective, because how many people are going to say that they watched all of Andor? You and I haven't finished it. But also the Book of Boba Fett. No one really cares about that. No. And I'm sorry, but Star Wars fans are some of the biggest crybabies.
I saw the video you sent us in the chat where
Which
it's
one?
The Key and Peele,
Key and Peele,
where it's Obama. He's all like, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. He's all, hey.
Hey! What's up,
from
man?
the bottom, now we're here.
No, but that's the thing, is that Star Wars fans are some of the biggest babies out there, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, you're a Star Wars fan, you probably cried because it doesn't
like,
fit your way, or because the Legends thing went away and now you're crying. Sorry, go on. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's just when you do something to that magnitude, there's always going to be, not everyone's going to be a banger.
Yeah.
And obviously that's going to come with DC as well too. But at the same time, at least it's interesting to see that DC is trying to they're going the same route as Marvel, but at the same time, they want to be still different.
Yes.
And they want to go one step above them.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You
Yeah.
know? I'm interested to see what James Gunn has planned because it seems like the gold standard is Kingdom Come.
Yes.
He wants to do that.
That's his goal, which is great.
It's interesting.
I'm going to say
my thing is that I really want DC to stop doing these aged up heroes.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem, but that's the thing though is that because DC wants to be the more mature. They want to be the adult when it comes to these when it comes to superhero movies.
I feel like that's more of like a Warner Brothers kind of thing.
Like Warner Brothers wants to be the adult. They want to get the adults. The Disney can have all the kids. We don't care.
Yeah.
We want the adults.
They can have the family-friendly stuff.
Yeah, because adults.
Marvel aims for 5 to 18-year-olds, and DC wants the 25 to like 50-year-olds.
Which is also interesting because that shows in the latest Marvel projects. Like Thor: Love and Thunder. You see that a lot with the Disney shows as well too. The Disney Plus shows that
people
are not
aging out.
Yeah, they're not taking certain risks. They're playing safe a lot.
Look, here's one argument that I cannot agree with people making about James Gunn taking over the DCEU, right? It's this idea that people feel DC is not going to be in safe hands with James Gunn because James Gunn tends to be a funnier director. Here's what I have to say to these people. Shut up. Legitimately.
For me, I'm getting more irritated with the whole cancellation of Wonder Woman 3.
Okay.
Like, people are losing faith after hearing that. And I'm like, well, Wonder Woman 84
didn't do well.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't. So now let me
there's a reason why Patty Jenkins lost her Star Wars contract.
Yeah, but don't beat me to the punch. Wait for this, okay? See if you can agree with me on this. Certain directors have absolutes to the way they direct things.
Yes.
Right? When you think of like Quentin Tarantino, Del Toro, Edgar Wright, like they all have certain ways of directing things, right? But a director's different than a producer. Right now, James Gunn isn't directing anything for the DCU. He's producing for the DCU.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to that, how can we judge his work when he hasn't done anything for the DCEU yet? Right now, you said it yourself. They canceled Wonder Woman 3. Yeah. They've stopped Man of Steel 2. They're basically not moving forward with Black Adam 2. Right? There's a lot of things that are happening super quickly that he in his Twitter post said some may be true, some may be not.
I actually have the.
Do you have that tweet?
Yeah. It's a long tweet, but I have it screenshotted.
Do you want me to read it, or
I can read it? Do you want to read it?
I got it. Yeah.
Do you have an interesting voice to read it in?
I do.
Okay, give me your interesting, not sensual voice.
Which one? This one?
Yeah. So that's starting from here, and then it goes down to the comments, and then just to read, keep going, go that.
All right. So,
oh my God, give me the no.
As
done.
for the story told
Stop,
in the Hollywood Reporter,
stop, dude.
Some of it is true.
Nick,
can you read it like in a 1950s like news reporter?
Thank you. No.
Like, so
So
this just in.
As far as the stories yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter, some of it is true, some of it is half true, some of it is not true, and some of it we weren't deciding yet whether it's true or not. Although first month at the DC has been fruitful, building the next 10 years of story taking time, and we're still just beginning. Peter and I chose to helm DC Studios, knowing we knew we were coming into a fractious environment, both in the stories being told and in the audience itself. And there would be an unavoidable transition period as we moved into telling a cohesive story in film, TV, animation, and gaming.
You went from a 1950s reporter to sensual Idris Elba.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sensual Idris Elba.
See, I can give compliments unlike you.
I can give compliments.
No, shut up.
You look really good in that sweater.
Shut up.
Yeah, the blue brings out the brownness in your eyes.
It really does. It really brings the poo.
Shut up.
Really brings
Nick.
out the poo in your eyes.
Oh, God. You know your beard rubs against the mic? You got to stop. People don't like that.
Oh, my God, yes.
Oh, God. Okay, so point being, that quote basically said that there's a lot of stuff that has come out that isn't true, that could be true, or that is true.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's being very cryptic here about what exactly is going to happen moving forward with the DCEU.
Yeah.
There's actually more to that. I don't know.
There's a lot more.
I don't know if you want me to read.
Here, I'll read
do you want me to read the rest?
No, I'll read the rest.
All right. Do you have a central? Is your
starting
sound
from the
voice?
top.
No, I'm just going to go straight forward because I think people might be annoyed already of it. But in the end, the drawbacks of the transitional period were dwarfed by creative possibilities and the opportunity to build upon what was worked in DC so far and to help rectify what has not. We know we are not going to make every single person happy every step of the way, but we can promise everything we do is done in the service of the story and, in the service of the story and in the service of the DC characters.
Yeah.
We know you cherish, and we have cherished our whole lives. This is where he has the photo of Kingdom Come. Yeah. As for more answers about the future of the DCU, I will sadly have to ask you to wait. We're giving these characters and the stories the time and attention they deserve, and we ourselves still have a lot more questions to ask and answer. So,
it was a long tweet.
It was a long tweet. It was. But I think he's kind of just shutting people up.
Well, here's the thing, though. No matter what, it only makes sense that he wasn't going to come in and then just go, okay, how do I build a universe with 3 or 4 different ideas already kind of working at the same time? That doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. You have to just wipe the slate clean. It's the same thing that Disney did with Star Wars in the very beginning, where they were like, there's so much legend stories that if we try to do a future Star Wars, we're never going to hit it right because there's so many interesting stories. Instead, why don't we just say that they're legends? We're going to move on and we could tell our own stories. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that's what James Gunn has to do. And he's going to have to just wipe the slate clean and go, okay, cool. He might bring back these actors. He might not. Maybe he has a different vision for these actors.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I think Gal Gadot did a great job as Wonder Woman. She's an amazing Wonder Woman.
She's the face of Wonder Woman, in my opinion. Like the looks of it and the acting.
She's a really great Wonder Woman. Jason Momoa, a great Aquaman. Henry Cavill. I think the casting across the board, except for like one of them, was really good. And I'll let you guys kind of figure out which one it was. But but they were all home runs.
Background check on that.
Yeah, they were all for the most part home runs.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that unfortunately, we have a different vision. They all have a different vision, and who knows? Maybe they thought, maybe we should do a younger Justice League. Maybe we should do an older Justice League. Let's age everybody up. My thing is that I don't want to see an aged up Justice League. It doesn't work.
You want to just kind of hold off on it and like explore the young. But that's the thing is, like, do we want other origin stories? If we're really talking about this in terms of what his plan is.
The thing is that it's proven that you can do certain comic book movies without telling the origin.
Spider-Man, Batman,
Spider-Man,
Superman.
Batman. You can do a Batman movie without doing the origin. I mean, that was proven in the Batman.
Yeah.
And then same thing with, you could do Superman without destroying Krypton.
You can do Spider-Man without.
I am interested to hear about Matt Reeves though, because they haven't said anything about Matt Reeves' second Batman.
You know what? I think what they want to do is that they want to make one more movie of that, because it seems like he has an idea of what the second movie is going to be, and I think they like it, but they know that it's already a separate universe,
and it doesn't work. And because that also puts Joker, the second Joker movie, up in.
But they're already making that movie.
How much you want to bet?
That's my thing though, is that they already just canceled the production of Wonder Woman 2. They're canning.
How much you want to bet that James Gunn looks at the Batman and says, like, that's too big of a piece of art to just kind of throw away?
The success of the first one,
and I think not only that, but also I can only imagine being in a boardroom and going like, so we're gonna stop making the Batman movies.
Everyone did what you just did, just laughed. Everyone in that boardroom laughing like that hard.
And then they were like, all right, James, maybe we should like lay off the
James, man, you're a funny dude, man.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's relax.
This jack-off said, like, we're not going to make another Batman movie.
You just started, man. Oh, look, $100 bill. Rips it up.
Do you know how much money we threw at that movie? Do you know how much it printed?
Yeah.
It was like making money. It was just printing money at a
See,
certain
he
point.
pulls out a photo of me. He's like, you see
You
this
know how many
man?
iPod 12s I bought?
I want James Gunn to pull, or I want some board member. A board member pulls out a photo of me. Just goes like, you see this man right here?
Yeah.
This man? We made him cry. We're not canceling this
We're
movie.
not canceling.
So that's my big thing though, is that I can see them doing, because what I really wouldn't mind is if they went and called them black and like the black series or like the black and white.
Oh yeah. Or like the noir kind
like
of thing.
those noir films
Yeah.
of like their one-offs.
DC Legends. If
Yeah,
anything.
like that would be like a cool little like way of like putting them under.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing, and it's interesting that again, I feel like they're not going to do that to the Batman movie, or at least the sequel.
Or even the Joker.
That's a good joke.
Yeah,
Honestly,
No,
even
but the Joker.
movie.
They're making a second Joker.
yeah, they're making a second
They're
Joker.
making a
Then
second
Harley
one.
Quinn has been already cast.
She's already been cast in
Lady Gaga. Yeah.
Not only that, but also, I mean, they've been in talks with Joaquin Phoenix, because Joaquin Phoenix doesn't really do sequels.
No, he doesn't. Yeah.
So it must be a really good script if Joaquin Phoenix is like, yeah, I'm down to do a second one.
Well, apparently it's supposed to be very musical-esque. Like
It's different. That's probably the reason why.
different,
That's probably why Joaquin Phoenix is like down for it. But that's what I mean though.
We're assuming though that he hasn't touched them yet. But that's the thing, is that the reports that were leaked were Wonder Woman, Superman, Aquaman.
Again, even James Gunn has said in his tweet, he goes, some of them are true, some of them are not.
Yeah. So I mean, in all fairness, I do feel that Superman is still good. I don't think that they're touching Superman.
That's the thing. When it comes to canceling Wonder Woman, they may have canceled the movie, but I don't think they canceled Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. They know that's too much of a good thing,
Am I really going to risk recasting Wonder Woman when we already have a great Wonder Woman that puts butts in seats?
Yeah, you already have fans jumping in to see Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Same thing with Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Because they were saying that they're no longer going to be doing. I thought, because from the rumor I heard is that they don't want to do another Aquaman movie because of Amber Heard.
That makes sense. It does.
Like they want to recast. They want to recast
The whole cast.
Like they just want to wipe the slate.
That's
clean.
fine.
One person ruins that whole movie.
and
forever.
Hey, someone did with another movie.
No, they're
DC.
still releasing it.
Yeah.
Pushed it forward, I think.
Yeah,
they're pushing it
a whole
forward.
like 2 weeks ahead.
Yeah, they're just trying. I think they're just trying to get it off the slate.
We gotta put this goddamn movie out.
I think they just need. I feel like it's one of those things of we need to get it off the slate. We just need to put it out there. We need to make our money back so that way we can stop.
What money back?
That way we can stop making Ezra. That way we can just stop talking to Ezra Miller. We don't have to return his calls anymore.
Hey, when's the movie coming out? Oh, when are you gonna stop being?
When are you gonna stop being a dick?
Yeah, when are you gonna stop being who you are?
You can stop being a weirdo.
But here's my thing, right? So I have a question in terms of this. So no one likes cancellations,
No.
right? People are
No one
excited
likes the
for it.
idea, yeah.
No, right? So I came out of work today, okay, and I'm going through Twitter and I see, Batman Beyond movie could have potentially been made with Michael Keaton, right? It's canceled. So do you know how many imaginary tables I flipped in my head?
That's the third time.
What?
It's already the third time that a Batman Beyond movie's been canceled.
Yeah.
that's true.
So I'm not too stressed. The one
I'm
movie,
stressed. I want one.
The one movie in which I'm kind of trying to figure out if whether or not it's still on the slate, and I really hope it is.
Well, I hope not.
Well, for one, Blue Beetle.
That's still on there.
Yeah, they're
He
still
released
making
it.
it.
Yeah,
I know.
he released the
I
poster.
know, but it's on the slate. Hold on.
You want this? Too damn bad.
No. But Blue Beetle. But I'm also really interested to kind of see if on the slate. Oh my God, I lost track of thought. I literally lost track of my thought. What movie am I looking for? Come Back to Me.
Come Back to Me, the movie?
No, dang it. Oh, man, I had it in my head.
I'm going to speak and he's going to be like, oh, I got it. Never mind. Watch.
Right, as soon as
I start bringing up another
No,
point.
it's not Blue Beetle.
But, okay, so moving on while he gets his thoughts collected and everything, right? So in terms of, think in your own head, please. So in terms of, like, don't.
Nah, that was annoying last week.
Don't.
I didn't realize he was going to make that loud sound.
So then why'd you do it?
I got to spray some WD-40 on that.
You got to make some squeakies.
Yeah.
Why'd you move the mic away from you?
I was doing that.
Dramatic
It was a
effect.
dramatic effect for the camera.
Oh, well,
You know what's funny? You didn't make that sound when you brought it back.
Yeah. So
It was fine.
Question, right?
Yeah.
No one likes cancellation. No one wants to see their
No.
favorite projects get, thrown out of the way and stuff like that, right? So you have people, especially in the DC fandom, right, that are super hardcore about who's producing. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. I told you you were going to do that.
I remember what it was,
I
though.
know it was. You hold that thought. So
I remember what it was.
Forget it again.
So my question is, what if James Gunn comes in and says, like, yeah, the stuff that happened with Christopher Nolan, we're not doing that. The stuff that happened with Snyder, we're not dealing with that, right? You're going to get people super upset about it. I have a theory that the way James Gunn is going to handle this is he's going to separate it in different respective universes. The Nolan Batman, the Snyderverse, and then there's this era of the DC. And he's going to structure it in a way that's respectable to producers and directors that have worked on these previous iterations.
Yeah.
Because the moment he comes in and just starts chopping things down, right, left and right, you're going to get people upset about it. And what he wants, he's a person that wants people to love him. We know that. The way he directs and the way he produces, he loves that attention. I don't think he's going to make enemies. I think he wants everyone to be his friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I can totally see that.
Yeah. You want to talk about your thoughts now?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because it was already announced over at DC Fandom, the last DC Fandom that they had, Static Shock was on the slate. They were in development of the Static Shock movie.
I thought that was a comic book.
No, they said there was gonna be a live action movie, Static Shock.
That's always been in like
and
development.
they were also working on an Icon movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So-
Icon and Rocket. Yeah.
They were trying to work on an Icon and Rocket movie, and they were also gonna try and work on a Static Shock movie.
Yeah, because they just obtained not the rights, but they just brought up the whole Milestone Comics, which is Static Shock, Icon, and Rocket are all attached to those.
It was just the 30th.
Yeah,
for Milestone, I think, just recently.
Yeah, it was the
So
anniversary.
That was the whole point. Is they were going to redo. They were going to make those into brand new TV shows or a movie. I mean, honestly, they could still be working on them because it doesn't sound like they've canceled them or anything like that.
So
I wouldn't mind them kind of going, oh yeah, they're in our universe, and we're gonna make those.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's a bit of like recently, right? Now that you bring up Static Shock, there's a little bit of like hesitation for me to be excited for a Static Shock movie.
Why?
Static Shock for me growing up was a TV show about a superhero with disadvantages in the community because of who he was, right? But every episode that came out always taught you a lesson.
Yeah.
Right?
The show, right?
The show, right? That was a kind of trend setting thing for like the early like 2000s, late 90s cartoons and TV shows that were out there.
They would always touch, but that was the same thing with the comics too. The comics
was,
the comics would always try to teach you a lesson by the end of it too.
Yeah. So I've been on this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air kind of like train, just rewatching the old school, the older one, right?
Yeah.
And I thought about how like TV shows back then were pretty much like they were like they had a story in it. They had like a prolonging story that would last the whole season. But the main point of it, kind of like Full House as well, is that they teach you a lesson.
Yeah, they got into they had an idea, they got into shenanigans, they got caught, they then fixed it, and then they learned something at the end.
Exactly. So like there was an episode, just quick, where they're trying to get into a fraternity. And Carlton says no because he is a colored person but with advantages, and he's not a representative of
with
like the black
privilege.
community.
Yeah.
So
privilege.
Will gets accepted because he came from Philly and he came from nothing, whereas Carlton, they called him basically an Uncle Tom.
So with that said, that's a tough episode.
That term too is just so bad.
Yeah. So with the new Bel-Air TV show revival, right?
Yeah.
It lost that essence because it became a drama show. It became a show about like
Everything's so serious.
Everything was so serious, right? So when it comes to Static Shock, it kind of I have a fear in that sense where if you're going to be producing a movie like that, are you going to be losing those elements of teaching that the Static Shock TV show had?
I think overall, if you're going to do a Static Shock movie, you're going to have your underlying message, like how Black Panther did. I feel like that's where it would go.
Even Spider-Man had that underlying message.
Yeah.
Because my thing is that for that one, it should be about bullying, coming into your own, and then there's a hero in everyone. That's the easiest. That's the easiest way to make a Static Shock
Stand up
movie.
for what's right, even if it's not
Because
easy.
Like
Virgil-
a hero can come from anywhere.
Yeah, because Virgil Hawkins is a nerd. Like he's a hardcore nerd that just gets beat up all the time.
Yeah.
And then once he becomes Static, that imbues him with that with the confidence that he needs to become a superhero. And he already idolizes some of the great superheroes that are out there, like Icon, like Jon Stewart, like these other heroes, that he wants to be just like them. And it really it makes it so that way he wants to be a hero. And that's really awesome. And you can definitely do a lot with that. Because even the whole, even if you were to use like a lot of Static Shock's, the show, there's like that episode with Richie's dad where Richie's dad's a racist.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why
Richie never takes Virgil to his house. Yeah, because his dad's racist.
His dad's racist, and he doesn't like the fact that he's into that he's into like that hip hop culture.
Yeah,
and everything else. So
there was another episode with Richie that always sticks with me, and it's when he becomes a metahuman, I think is what the term is, when he starts to develop
becomes a bang baby.
Yeah,
his own bang baby.
Yeah, becomes a bang. That's what they were called. They were called bang babies.
Bang babies.
So it's where he gets the wrong message from Static, where he was kind of like, oh, well, now you're being jealous because I'm being a superhero and I have that ability to do so, and now you're not going to be the shining star to everyone, right? The underlying message to that was like, it's the whole Spider-Man thing. It's like with great power comes great responsibility, just not in those words. It's you got to relax a little bit, and you have to understand that you are a superhero with responsibilities. You have to uphold that now.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but also I think there's also like an underlying message of we don't know what the mist did to you. We know that it's affecting your brain, but we don't know how.
Yeah, and I think it negatively affected him later on in the show.
For a little while, yeah.
But that's what I want James Gunn to do, right? As the head of the DCU, I want him to look at these things that we grew up, because that is a big statement that he did say in his tweet, that there's stories that we've grown up with that we've loved since we were kids and that have stuck with us for years. There's certain things, certain aspects and elements that make these heroes and these characters cherished by us, right? Like for me, I could be reading a Spider-Man comic book, but there's certain themes and underlying messages about Spider-Man that will forever stick with me, that make him who he is, and that I'll always love about him, right? The same thing with you with Batman.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though, is that even if you look at like the Batman, that one had a message too. What makes a hero? Does fear truly bring happiness to everyone, or is it more important to be a symbol? Can a symbol be more powerful than the person that's actually beating up the criminals at night?
I think I told you guys when we watched it afterwards that scene was much more impactful than anything in any other Batman movie I've ever seen.
Definitely.
That scene where he's raising the torch or the flare as he's walking people out.
Oh, where it's dark and then you just see, and it's just like a shadow coming towards him, and then he opens up the light and then you see it go. Yeah.
And the only reason I said that was because if my dad were still alive today, he would have loved that scene to death, because his favorite superhero was the Batman. But it wasn't because of how badass he was. It was because he stood as a symbol. He was the one person, the one being that could do more than just the standard, enforcer of law, essentially.
I think it's so interesting because if you go through like all the other stuff, especially I think Paul Dini and Bruce Timm had like the best renditions of Batman, especially since it was Kevin Conroy. But I just love the idea of their representation of understanding why people like Batman and why they really embrace him is because Batman, even though he closes himself off to everyone, he has the largest heart.
Yeah.
He has the largest heart, and he has more. He cares. I don't think there's anybody out there that cares more about their fellow man, as Bruce Wayne does. Bruce Wayne will literally sacrifice himself to save his villain, even though the villain's trying to kill everybody. But he's gonna figure out a way to save everybody.
Yeah,
we're all leaving here tonight, no matter what. We're not losing a single person. And that's what's important.
He's a big picture guy.
He's very much a big picture, but also he has the value of life.
Yeah.
In his head. But that's besides. So what I really want to see is I do want to see James Gunn putting those things inside of it, because I feel like with Snyder and I feel like when Snyder took over, didn't really think about those bigger pictures or those little messages, because it's so hard for me to watch a Man of Steel and for me to really connect with Superman, because Superman's a god. How do I connect with a god? I don't have those same problems.
Well, keep in mind one of the most iconic images of the Snyderverse is Superman looking up into the sky as people like touch his chest as if he was like Jesus Christ in a way.
And he's flying down like this, and it's. Don't get me wrong, Zack Snyder's a great cinematographer. He can shoot the hell out of a movie.
Yeah.
But his storytelling isn't all that great. He has very weak storytelling, and I feel like a lot of Superman's
He's an epic storyteller.
But a lot of like his superheroes' motivations are very weak. They're paper thin. Yeah. Where honestly, it's one of those things of if everybody just stops for 5 minutes and like thinks about what they're doing, this doesn't make sense. Like, why am I hunting Superman? Yeah. Well, because Superman's an alien. Okay, yeah, but he saved thousands of people. Yeah. But he destroyed more than he saved. Yeah, but he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, he was fighting another super
being. He was fighting another super being, and it's like, oh.
You know what you sound like right now? Kevin Smith. No, and that should be a compliment because that's kind of the same thing he said when he was doing Masters of the Universe.
What?
That he wanted to personify He-Man. He didn't want him to be this all-powerful being with the ability of gods. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He wanted to craft a story where it was about the smaller characters and their ambitions and their goals and how to make things better for I forget the city that in He-Man, but you know what I'm talking about, right? He wanted to just kind of bring it down to earth a little bit, and it's interesting that you say that, right? Like Snyder made gods, and James Gunn personifies. And I think that's the element that a lot of us have been missing with the DCU. Mm-hmm. It's that personification of Aquaman, the personification of the Flash, the personification of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Like, how can they relate to us? Because even though they're gods and powerful beings, we got to make sure that we can somehow still relate to them.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though, is that I feel like there's a lot of times that we don't spend a lot of time with their alter egos. Like, you don't spend a lot of time inside of Aquaman with Arthur Curry. You spend a lot of time with Aquaman.
You know who did this well?
Same thing with Diana Prince.
Mm-hmm. Now that you say it, right? Peter Safran. And I think that's why that chemistry is going to work so well. Mm-hmm. Shazam.
Oh, yeah.
Shazam was invoked with the power of gods.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But he's just a 10-year-old boy.
But that's the thing, though, is that there's a good portion of time inside of that movie where you spend it with Billy.
Yeah,
like you're just hanging out with Billy.
Yeah.
And you're
trying to find his mom with him.
You're getting to know Billy. You're going through this journey with him, and you feel like if I was a kid, not only that, but also he made Billy Batson so relatable, where it was like, oh, if I was a superhero and I was 12, what would I do? And basically exactly the same thing.
If you were a superhero with connections, what would you do? What was the end credit scene for that?
Oh, yeah, right? Like, oh, yeah, I made a friend. And he brings Superman to the table. And I think that's so funny. And I really do want to see kind of like, and I think that, that connection of, okay, how do we connect to, because that's the only way that people are going to connect to them. I have to care about Bruce Wayne. I have to care about the man underneath the mask, underneath the cowl, underneath, the cape.
Your shirt's a good example of that. The Bat Family. Oh, yeah. Batman, Nightwing, Red Hood,
and that's
Robin.
The thing, though, is that these movies...
Red Robin.
But, and you know what? Honestly,
but
you know what? Even if that was the case, I would love seeing a full Bat Family, what was it, like just a full Bat Family movie. You can call it the Bat Family.
Yeah.
And I would love just seeing the lengths that Bruce will go to save his family. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Is Batgirl not a part of that family?
She's adopted.
No, well, technically, that's not like his children.
She was never orphaned.
I mean, yeah, that's true. She's the daughter of Commissioner Gordon.
That's true.
He walks up to her. And
because those are all his adopted. Yeah, it's Dick, Jason,
and
Damien.
Tim.
Tim. I was like, yeah, that's right.
Because even Tim still has a family, but Tim's families are all,
Well, I mean, like his dad died from Captain Boomerang.
There's a lot of stuff there, but it's one of those things of, Batman walks up to Batgirl and goes, "Do you have parents?" She goes, "Yeah, my dad." And he goes, "Never mind."
I mean, they did bang. So
they did bang.
Yeah, that's
which people all of a sudden are getting really upset about.
Oh, it's weird.
It is weird. Don't
get me wrong. It is weird, but again, it's that whole. I take it when you watch The Killing Joke.
Listen, he's Leonardo DiCaprio, okay. As soon as she turns 25, it's done.
There. Okay, so look, we're gonna get into really skeptical territory, so I'd much rather not touch that. I'm gonna instead do this. We're gonna wrap up the show pretty soon. What are we most looking forward to with James Gunn? We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up with that question.
I want to see what Nick mentioned earlier. I want to see an extended Bat family universe.
I want to see him as a dad. I want to
Bruce, Bat Daddy.
I want to see. Because we always direct these movies towards his relationship between Alfred and Bruce. Mm-hmm. I want to direct some of these movies towards the relationship between Dick, Jason, and Damian to Bruce.
If not, maybe make him have a Robin. We haven't
just give him a Robin.
Just give him a Robin.
And give him a little kid.
The last time we got a Robin, we just saw the costume with ha 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 on there, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though, is that I feel like he needs a Robin. He needs somebody to humanize him, and that's how you do it, is giving him a Robin.
Yeah.
Because it's somebody who can question him with that innocence of, I'm supposed to follow your direction, but what you're saying right now makes no sense.
One of the most iconic animated series episodes was when he brings in a Robin for the first time. Was it that he brought in, was it Dick? The first one he brings in?
Inside the animated series?
Yeah,
it's Dick Grayson.
And so he's walking around the Batcave, and he's like super excited about everything he sees, and Bruce is just like, and just walks away. Yeah. That's such an iconic moment, because it's like, it brings him back into that reality.
It does. Not only that, but also it's really interesting too, because in the animated series, when Dick Grayson first gets to Wayne Manor, it's so interesting because it's only Dick Grayson and Alfred. Bruce is never there, and he's like, why would he adopt me? Like, what? Yeah. Like, what? Why am I here? He's never home. Mm-hmm. And then it cuts to Conroy's Batman just beating people up, just going like, tell me where Tony Zuko is. And then you're just like, and he's trying to find Robin's killers. And he's like, I am going to make sure that this kid never has to suffer through what I had to. He is going to get justice for his family, because there is somebody who can actually get that justice for him now.
Keep in mind,
and I'm going to and I will burn this city to the ground.
What was that one line that Jason says to Bruce, or to Bruce when he comes back as the Red Hood? That you never did anything because you let the Joker live.
Yeah.
He goes like, I thought I'd be the last person you let hurt.
Touch. Yeah. You let him hurt me.
Yeah.
God, I hate that. I hate that scene so much because there's so much emotion.
Yeah. No matter how many people, no matter how many friends he cripples, no matter how many people he kills, you just keep letting him go.
I forget Batman's response. Do you remember?
Huh?
Do you remember?
It would be too easy.
That's right.
It's too easy for me to kill him. Mm-hmm. You don't think I ever wanted? Do you ever think I've never wanted to kill him? Mm-hmm. Never put him through half the things that he's ever done to people, but it would be too easy. Not only that, but also I would never know when it's time to stop.
That wasn't Kevin Conroy's.
No,
that was Bruce Greenwood, right?
That's Bruce Greenwood, but Bruce Greenwood does
Pike
a really good
from the new Star Trek.
Yeah,
series.
Pike. But Bruce Greenwood does a real good Batman. I like his Batman too.
What?
That's what I said. I want him. Rest in peace.
Jensen Ackles seems to be the go-to Batman now. Because
because
they're featuring him in another animated movie.
Jensen did a really good job.
Yeah, he did a really good job as Long Halloween Batman.
You didn't like Long Halloween?
I did, but I'm just kind of like, I'm so used to Bruce Greenwood's.
That's fine. You'll get used to Jensen Ackles.
Yeah, get used to Jensen
Ackles. We can have both. I'm a Bruce Greenwood advocate. I would need to build up with Jensen Ackles.
Well, because I think what Jensen Ackles does a good job of is that he plays a really good straight voice for Batman.
Okay.
Where it's you could tell he's taking aspects from Kevin Conroy.
He's trying.
It's not like it, but he's doing a good stern structure Batman voice.
And not only that, but also when he also changes his tonation for Bruce.
Yeah.
He has a lot lighter tonation like Conroy too.
Yeah. So hold up. It slipped my mind. Bruce Greenwood is Captain Pike.
Yeah, from the J.J. Abrams. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
That's why I love him so much.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I love the man more.
Oh
my God.
Star Trek connection for the win.
There's a Star Trek connection.
I didn't know. I was an advocate. You can check issue 120, 119 or something like that. I was a Bruce Green advocate before all this.
No, but I do see that there's a lot of potential inside of James Gunn and them, restructuring. Take it with a grain of salt. Where the building's not on fire.
Early stages.
It's early stages. If anything, we're reorganizing, and it's like when it's kind of like when you're reorganizing a room, and then you want to redecorate and everything like that. You got to get everything out of the room.
Yeah.
Put it outside.
Throw everything on the floor.
Put everything outside, and then now that the room is clear, we can now put stuff back where it needs to go, and we can start putting it in its right places. Right now, they're taking everything outside, they're dusting it off, figuring out what can we use and what needs to go to the Goodwill.
Basically.
And give them that time. Once we have a slate, I'm pretty sure it's not going to disappoint. I'm pretty sure we're going to be very excited once we see that slate.
There's only one thing I want from James Gunn and Peter Safran. It's to get me excited for DC again. I'm excited for the movies. Like, don't get me wrong. I just want to be excited for the movies. Like, get me excited to feel something like Matt Reeves did with the Batman. Okay. Like, I didn't go into the Batman expecting what I saw, and I came out falling in love with Batman again because it was beautiful to watch. The message was all there. I think that both Peter and James can manage to produce something, a timeline, and a series of movies that could bring back that like nostalgia, the messages, the entire story arcs of certain characters, because
while making it a little more adult and a little grittier. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But also still having a little bit of fun. I mean, look at Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is bloody as all hell. There's so much killing in it. Yeah. There's so much cursing.
But he got us to fall in love with a character named Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And Ratcatcher.
And Peacemaker.
Ratcatcher and King Shark.
Peacemaker to the point of, hey, we're going to give him his own series.
Oh, yeah, because he started out as an a-hole in the movie. Like, we didn't care for him because he was such a putz. And then we see him in Peacemaker's show.
Look.
He's a fleshed out character. We feel for him. We understand.
I want to see more.
If James Gunn wants to scale, he could just hire Andy. Because if Andy loves it, it's certified going to sell. Yeah. Because Andy's super critical when it comes down to these things.
Yeah.
My fiance, by the way.
I want Peacemaker to be the leader of the Justice League.
With Eagly by his side.
I just think that would be I think that would be so funny.
I want to see Eagly wear a mask.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A mask with like a flag on there. Yeah. Dude, with wings that look like the American flag. Yes.
You know what? And I think it would be so funny if he gave him like an American flag on his back and everything like that. And right when he goes to fly, it gets caught in his wings and he can't move. And then he's like,
Would you believe that Andy really loved Peacemaker?
I could believe that. I really loved Peacemaker.
It's funny because like Mandy really liked Peacemaker too. That's the thing. Yeah. So and she usually doesn't care for John Cena.
No.
Or like any wrestler actors.
Dude, I mean,
she's even
The
Rock.
She'll put up with The Rock. I think that's what
she'll put up with him.
Like she'll. Like,
I don't think The Rock would. Right now, somewhere out there, he's like.
The thing is that The Rock makes a certain type of movies that Mandy doesn't really like.
Explosions, muscles, and
basically.
Testosterone.
Yeah, because she's not into the whole muscle thing. She likes David Arbor. she was all hyped for.
So what you're saying is that what The Rock needs to do is gain 50 pounds.
Yeah, he needs to get like a dad bod.
He needs to gain it. So he needs to gain a belly.
He needs to get a beer belly.
He needs to have a beer belly. You know what? I'm waiting for it. I do want to see it.
Yeah,
because one of these days,
I don't think he's gonna Schwarzenegger it.
He can't. No, because Schwarzenegger's not even that. He's still fit too.
He's still fit, but he's not.
He's a 70-year-old man.
He's not unhealthy.
Yeah, no, he's a fit 70-year-old. Same thing with Sly.
Stallone is more fit than Schwarzenegger right
That's
now.
true.
Well,
Stallone does.
Sly is still in the movie business, whereas Schwarzenegger's retired.
Yeah, that's true. We got to wrap this show up, guys.
Yeah,
we're hitting about an hour 40 at this point, so yeah. Guys, thank you so much for watching Keeping Up with the Nerds or listening to Keeping Up with the Nerds. Just as a reminder, you go check out our website at keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. That's it, right? Yes. Also, listen to us. Podcasts, audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Podbean. Rate us 5 stars if you guys like what you guys heard on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Leave a review down there as well. And if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, Nick's upset. He's crying. You made him cry. He actually went home and said 46% people did not subscribe. He actually cried for once. You broke his heart. And the man doesn't cry. He sheds no tears. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like the video. Leave a comment down below. As always, check the link of the descriptions to see anything you might have missed. Rene, are we ready to wrap the show up?
Yes.
Let's do it.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 127. My name is Renee.
And Nick.
And this is Bryan.
Signing out from Undercity Comics. We'll see you all next time.